It's been a big week for 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy is today everywhere.
Diddy just became the new OJ.
Hollywood's in trouble. Talk about Hollywood in terms of the music industry. It's in a world of trouble right now.
You can't do anything right now without talking about Diddy.
Why don't nobody ever want to believe me?
Names are going to be dropped and what have you.
Only thing I would say to him is go to jail, go directly to jail.
We're getting word that he's on suicide watch.
Do not pass go, do not collect $200.
He's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn in the Eastern New York Judicial District.
It's just long overdue.
An inmate was murdered at MDC just this summer, and at least 4 inmates have died by suicide over the past 3 years.
America can't afford to turn this bag down.
Sean Diddy Combs. The name is synonymous with success, luxury, and hip-hop royalty. He built an empire that spanned music, fashion, and media.
A great mogul, you know what I mean? He started from the bottom as an intern and turned and made a $1 billion label. Or turned himself to a billionaire or close to a billionaire, or, you know what I mean? And he was beloved.
For years, he was untouchable. He claimed he wouldn't be stopped. But as of 2024, Diddy's unstoppable run may be coming to an end.
Were you surprised at how extensive and disturbing the charges were, or did it feel par for the course given everything else that he's been accused of?
They played in all of our faces. All of this stuff was done right in everyone's face.
His arrest on charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and running a criminal enterprise has sent shockwaves through the industry.
Jaguar warned y'all, that's what they saying.
Puff ain't getting touched. Don't you understand that? Puff is not going to jail. Puff is not going to jail.
But racketeering convictions are very common in the federal government. Federal prosecutors generally don't lose these kinds of cases. And this was more disturbing to me. It's only 14 pages, but within the 14 pages, they are describing a criminal enterprise that involved trafficking of underage people across state lines to have sex, and they dubbed them freak-offs.
I know Ashanti before. Ashanti was like, 14. And I just felt like with the music, I'm trying to get real truth out the music. So,
and now, questions swirl about just how deep Diddy's influence and knowledge really goes.
Jamal said it himself. Jaguar sat on the couch and said he put the boots to that girl, and y'all said she was a liar, and then we seen it, and then y'all just said.
It does kind of speak to the power that he wielded, and the fact that nobody wanted to cross him.
You gotta imagine having that money and that power, secrets.
Federal agents raided Diddy's home in New York, Miami, and Los Angeles.
Homes raided in Los Angeles and Miami. Computers and laptops and iPads and phones and surveillance videos and stuff like that.
Discovering guns, cash, and enough baby oil to have held Malik Yoba down during New York undercover. Just playing around, my list be worse. But beyond the physical evidence, there's something even more chilling. The allegations of Diddy running a sex trafficking operation, eerily similar to the late Jeffrey Epstein.
The thing was racketeering charges. We've seen what's going on with the sex trafficking of that. He's in jail. Take that. I don't know what's going on in jail right now. The racketeering thing. I mean, you've interviewed Sammy the Bull and Michael Francis, and the list goes on and on and all. The whole RICO charges. The whole concept of racketeering is that you're in an illegitimate business, basically disguising as a real business, but it's actually fraudulent.
Diddy's indictment details a dark, hidden world where women were allegedly trafficked, I don't know that word, manipulated and abused. And like Epstein, Diddy may have more secrets than anyone ever imagined.
And they're saying his Christina Koram, his Combs chief of staff, she's probably going to be one of the main witnesses in the probe, and she was a huge member of his team. And they're dubbing her online as the Ghislaine Maxwell, the right hand, dubbed as his gatekeeper.
Hip-hop music industry vet Kevin Liles is resigning from his Warner Music Group executive VP gig. Liles has been with Warner since 2004, which formerly housed Diddy's Bad Boy Records. And he's been vocal defending the mounds of allegations against Puffy.
Secrets that could implicate powerful figures throughout the entertainment industry.
Well, how do you fully escape it though? Like your name, for example, was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is the
right?
most ridiculous thing ever.
Like Jeffrey Epstein, Diddy's influence stretches far beyond his personal wealth and fame.
It's gonna be enough people can vouch for Diddy as being a good person and not a bad guy.
because he's not a bad guy.
Rumors suggest that Diddy holds dark secrets about some of the industry's most powerful figures.
Why don't nobody ever talk about the fact that TD Cakes has an account allegedly on Grindr? It's been around for about 15 years now. It's pretty much where you can put a GPS in an asshole. It's a hookup site for promiscuous gay men. And it routes you to the account of the man closest to you, and then y'all see him, and you decide if you're gonna do it at the 7-Eleven or do it at the gay club in the bathroom. Grindr is a sex app. Now, we also know that TD Jakes is allegedly also a power bottom.
You know, now he's just, he's a nice, humble guy. He's not this big animal. You know, I don't know what people do at the end of the party, because when I go to the party, Steve, I leave.
For all those in London that don't know what happens to the white man when he comes to a P. Diddy party, you're still alive. Look at that. Look, would you get a drink at his head? And that's James from Simeon Mobile Disco.
So I want you to imagine how insane it is for the victims who know this is going on, know that the authorities are being paid off, know that no one's going to believe them, and you still gotta find a way to survive.
Including his close friend Jay-Z.
And there's so many people that's hurt behind this. There's so many people that it's guys that can't come out because of their image.
He ain't say Puff ain't innocent. I mean, Puff is innocent. He just said there's other people that needs to be held accountable as well, so.
They know what you and Puffy was going on, not just Stevie J, I'm just saying anybody. If you're in that community and you trying to hide something, you can hide it from the street dudes and the thugs and the regular, but they know you.
But I saw a couple clips yesterday from the Breakfast Club, and the Breakfast Club were talking about this is just the beginning.
If you were around Puff and you were in that circle and you witnessed any of this behavior and you kept it to yourself and never said nothing, you are part of the problem.
A lot of stuff that I know personally. Like I knew a lot of stuff that came out this week we was talking about. I was like, man, I've been knew that. I've been knew about the girl that came out. She was just afraid to tell her story for a long time. Like I knew.
You know, his exes, the girls that he dated, his security, detained people, his artists, like everybody knew things. So he pretty much thinks all of them should be held accountable as well.
And not only that, I done been on a phone call and hear people explaining their situations. Crying about, situations. And it only gonna get worse.
When I see those things, I never was shocked about it. I never, like, it just, I could sense a thing. Like, I don't know what it was.
It's hard to say because I don't want to spoil what's coming up. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say this, like I said. It gets deeper and deeper. And the more that come out, the more intriguing the story gonna be. All I want to tell people is,
I will say that all those people who are now coming out and talk about these monstrous things he did are only saying it now when but they were fine with it when they were benefiting from it. Their silence benefited them from. If you are now telling us all these things you witnessed, then now you want to witness, you're an accomplice.
You know, I'm in a circle. I know about y'all. Y'all confirmed. You don't got, but see, even with Stevie J, when you got secrets out there of a lifestyle and the lifestyle you really living, it's a community out there that really know you.
That there's 2 other big names and like 7 other people that are gonna come, that are gonna also end up in front of the judge on this.
Could Diddy's knowledge of others' wrongdoing make him a target?
Of course. What you think?
Could it explain why so many people have protected him for so long? Please comment what y'all think. I really want to know. Sources suggest Diddy may be holding on to explosive information.
They can't really say no because they know somebody know you. Somebody know for a fact. Somebody was there with y'all. Somebody he confided in, like as a best friend. You know what I'm saying? That know these rapper secrets.
Third on fellow moguls, artists, and even politicians.
Let's say this is the faces of the NBA.
Okay.
Oh, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
You're one of the faces of Hollywood.
Okay.
He's an incredible political leader on the left or the right or whoever, right?
Okay.
That person's a famous lawyer. This person's a singer. That person's a pastor. Say they have those clips. Number one, let's just go through it. If they have those clips.
The feds
get the tapes. So now who knows? Agent, manager, publicist, lawyer, Fed. Once those guys have it, for the rest of your life, your loyalty is to them. You're owned. You have 2 choices. Either the public, your kids, your family knowing, or you're doing whatever they tell you to do. There is no arguments.
you're cooked. Now that he's in there, there's a possibility that he might talk. So like you said, there's a possibility that something's gonna happen to him while he's locked up. Remember what happened with Epstein? The cameras didn't work, security was lax, he hanged himself, whatever. And then that girl, the girl that hasn't been arrested, you think she's feeling safe right now? His gatekeeper?
He said, you know, Diddy was an FBI informant or whatever, but people breezed right on past that and was basically talking about all the other people involved. Basically, like he said, it shouldn't all be put on Puffy. Everything is not, because the one man can't do all that by himself.
Christina Karam, she has to watch herself too, because I'm guaranteeing they're talking to her. They're going to say, you won't go to jail if you tell us everything.
If Epstein's downfall taught us anything, it's that when powerful people have too much information, their days might be numbered.
Reading the 14-page indictment yesterday, there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Is Diddy facing that same risk? Please comment. I want to read that.
The feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So,
according to federal prosecutors, Diddy's life behind the scenes was even darker than Epstein's. Imagine that.
You guys heard it. Feds and Homeland Security, okay? And the last time, the only thing I'm worried about, Tom, not worried, but I mean, it is what it is. He's in this prison, this jail. They're begging for him to come out. One of the reasons the judge won't let him come out is because he's dangerous. He'll have people go after these witnesses.
This is according to the prosecutor. They're saying that he's reached out to some victims.
Here comes Diddy. Is Diddy coming out?
And some witnesses say they are scared of him.
I wouldn't be surprised if, God forbid, something happens to this guy while he's in prison, because we've seen people that have these cameras set up in houses and high-profile people that have been recorded. They're panicking right now.
The indictment alleges that Diddy orchestrated drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs, where women were forced into highly orchestrated performances for his personal pleasure. The scale of his operation, massive. The crimes, shocking and disgusting.
He hit, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair.
The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB.
They found large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug.
Diddy's arrest could be the final blow to his billion-dollar empire. Thank God. Brands like Ciroc, media partners, investors are quickly distancing themselves from the man's once seen as a visionary. So you know this is serious. But the question remains, will Diddy go down like Epstein, taking his secret and potentially others with him? Or will the truth finally come to light? Epstein's death left the world with more questions than answers. Now with Diddy facing a similarly monumental trial, many are wondering, is he in danger?
I guarantee you, if I have a one-on-one conversation with Diddy with no camera on, and we're just there sitting there talking, no phones, no camera, no mics, nothing, he would brag about how much of an untouchable he is, because everybody fears him. That's what this guy felt he was.
Could the secrets he holds put his life at risk?
That's a man that doesn't fear God. That's a man who wants to be God. And when you flirt with wanting to be God, let me tell you, there's only one thing around the corner for you. A massive fall.
Whether it's through love or getting money or whatever it is, it's going to like ring true, you know?
What accountability do you take in that coming to an end?
Me? I mean, everything. I was just like, you know, I just, you know, I just wasn't.
Or could he, like Epstein, meet a mysterious end before the full story is revealed?
The reason why Sean Carter has been able to do all that he's done is because they gave him permission to do it. And everybody knew it.
Orgies, basically, that he orchestrated as a criminal enterprise with underage girls and
in some
commercials, and some of age, and commercial sex workers traveled across state lines, which is criminal, illegally, And he had guns, he had AR-15s with defaced serial numbers. When you put all of that together, that's, you know, a max of 20 years to life.
Some of the best parties, without, you know, that I ever been to in my life.
I went to a couple. I can confirm that, yes.
And
but you ain't participate.
No, negative. I'm not gonna no.
You ain't participate in the parties.
One thing's for sure, Diddy knows too much, and in a world where secrets are power, those who know too much often pay the highest prices. I want to know though, watch this video and tell me, do you think this dude is worse than Diddy? Because he just may be.
But then when it's over, and then it's over.